Hello friends, welcome to my channel, a channel for learning simple coding. If you find this video to be helpful, please like, share and subscribe my channel. In this video number 44, we are going to learn the concept of multi-threading in Rust programming language. In Java, multi-threading is so simple, just override a run method and you do your code in that method. But in Go language or in Rust language, multi-threading concept is not so simple. But inter-thread communication is simple. Same in Java, if you do inter-thread communication, you have some complexity there and you need to write complex code. But here we need to understand in this video what is multi-threading programming, how to use standard library of thread, how to use spawn function to create a thread, and how to set also time duration to sleep your thread. That we are going to understand. And last one also, we need to use how to pass ownership of a variable to the thread. That we are going to understand all these concepts in this video. So this video is important if you want to learn multi-threading, and interesting also, useful also, knowledgeable also. So first concept is multi-threading programming. You know that in each and every program, like I have this program I executed in last video. If I run this program, in all the programs which you run so far in Rust or in any programming language, by default each and every program have a single thread. The thread name is main. So far I'm using this program in build, we have a main thread in it. Remember that. So by default there is a single thread called main. But you can create multiple threads if you have a multiple tasks to execute. Means parallelly if you want to execute your task, then you can use multi-threading concept. Like if you play movie in a player, you see that that player is playing a movie and simultaneously that is also scrolling the slider, displaying a time, and so many things are happening same time on that video player or audio player. Remember that. So all the tasks executing on the same time simultaneously, that concept we achieve in any programming language by use of multi-threading programming. So same we are going to understand here how to create multiple threads in Rust. So for that, once again I close this module and I create new module here. I say new thread.rs. So this is the module that I'm going to create. Same module I have to change here, so I say new threads. Remember that this time I want to use this, and in main also I want to use new thread like this. Done. Now I want to write some code here. For that I write a function. I say public fun and I say my thread like this, and here I need to create thread. For creating a thread I need to import some standard library. So I say use std threads, first one, use std, I say time, I say duration like this, that we need to use like this. Now I need to create a thread. For creating a thread, what I do, I say thread, remember that, and this thread have a function spawn. So I say spawn function, and this spawn function required closer function. So for that I need to create a closer like this, remember that. So this is the closer, and this thread also return some value. What value it return? We will see that. Let this time I use a variable and I say th1, remember, and because I am not using this time, so I am creating it like this, that I am not using this handle of this, and now I declare coding here. What I do, I say for I in 5 time I want to execute it, 1 to 6 like this I want to do, and I want to print the value here like that. I say thread 1 executing 1 time, 2 time like this, and I pass I here. Remember first thing. Then I want to make sleep of this, so I say thread sleep, and here I pass duration in seconds, so I say 1 second I want to pass like this. Duration in a second I want to pass. So this is one thread, remember that. So let do same thing in main thread also. So go there in main thread. Here I want to use this, so I say new thread, and here I say my thread that I am going to execute. After that I also want to use here, and I say this is main thread. main thread like this, executing 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, and again I am using here the library. So I say use std time duration like this. Now try to execute it, cls, and I say cargo run, and you will see that, you see, main thread, then thread 1, main thread 2, then thread 2, you see it executing one by one thread is running. So 2 threads are running. First is default 1 thread main, and second one I am running this. If I want to execute more thread, just copy this and create new thread, and I say here thread 2, remember, nothing special, and here I say thread 2 once again and try to execute it once more, and you will see that we have 3 threads now. You see, main thread, thread 1, thread 2, thread 2, thread 1, you see, main thread. So they're executing like this. Remember that if I say here 10 times I want to execute these threads, but I want to execute main thread only 5 times. You see now the changes. I execute it and you see that output. You see, all the threads are executing only 6 times. When this main thread close after executing 5 times this information, then all other threads also stopping, means these threads are not executing till the end. Why? Because we are not stopping it forcefully. So we have to tell the main thread that you have to stop until we have to execute these threads. So for example, suppose I say thread 2 should be complete first, then main thread should close. So I say th2.join. I have to execute this. Remember that if I am calling this join method, this method also returns some value, but I am not using this. So I say unwrap. You see, I am not returning any value. I say unwrap. Remember that. So now until this thread second would not stop, this main thread would not close. Remember that. So this main thread have to wait until the thread 2 complete. Remember that maybe thread 1 close first, or maybe that thread 2 is completing first before thread 1, then this thread 1 may also be incomplete. Remember that. So if you want to wait this also, so you can also remove this here, and for this also you can say that thread 1 also join unwrap. That means both these thread will complete first, then this thread will finish his task. So you see that once again if I run it, you see the magic here. Thread 1, you see first thread 1 is executing 10 times 1 to 9. Remember, now thread 2 will execute. Remember that. Now thread 2 is executing. Now this main thread is executing. You see that we are executing these threads synchronously by using this join method. With the help of this join method, first this thread will complete the task, then thread 2 will complete the task. After that, main thread will execute their task and it will wait these thread to be completed first. Remember that. Now we are on the last concept, moving the ownership to the thread. To understand this, we need to declare a variable here. I say let val equal to 10. So this is an integer type of variable, simple one, and I want to use it here. Suppose in place of I want to display the value of val 10. So after doing this, that means I am not using this I, so I declare it like this, private, and this value is not borrowing. You see, error is coming that val is borrowed here, means we are using it here but we do not have an ownership. So we have to pass the ownership of this, all the variables inside this function, to this thread, because this thread is also a closer function. So in this function we are passing the value of it. So here we have to use this move keyword. Remember that. With the help of this move keyword, we say to the compiler of Rust that this value ownership is passed, means now this is not the owner, this is the owner of this variable. So if you run this, you will see that in place of I, one value, it will display 10. You see, it displaying it 10, that means it executing the value of it and it have the full right of this. Remember that. So we are passing the ownership of this variable to this thread. If again you want to pass the ownership of another variable to this thread, you have to write move here and then you can use that variable inside this thread. Remember that passing ownership means we have to use move keyword in thread. So this much we have in this video about thread. Now I think you understand multi-threading concept in Rust programming language. If you like this video, please do subscribe. Thank you for watching this video.